Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a name that evokes strength, success, and sheer charisma. To millions around the world, he's the ultimate symbol of power and positivity. But behind that megawatt smile and muscular physique lies a story of struggle, heartbreak, and incredible emotional resilience. Recently, The Rock opened up about one of the most difficult chapters of his life, his battle with depression, his 2007 divorce, and the long, personal journey that led him to rediscover happiness through family, fatherhood, and the kind of films that make people smile. When you look at Dwayne Johnson today, the billion-dollar box office hits, the thriving tequila brand, the energy, the optimism, it's hard to imagine that he once went through years of inner pain and confusion. But in his own words, depression doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter how strong you are on the outside. Sometimes, the toughest battles happen within. Back in the mid-2000s, The Rock was at a major turning point in his life. He had successfully transitioned from a wrestling superstar to a rising Hollywood actor. But at home, things weren't going as smoothly. In 2007, he and his first wife, Dany Garcia, decided to part ways after 10 years of marriage. Together, they had a daughter, Simone, and Dwayne suddenly found himself facing a kind of emptiness he'd never known before. For a man whose life revolved around control, focus, and discipline, depression came as a shock. He described it as a fog that clouded his mind and drained his motivation. "I didn't want to do a thing," he once said. "I didn't want to go anywhere. I was crying constantly." It was a side of The Rock that fans never saw, because, like so many people, he felt he had to hide his pain behind a brave face. But even in those darkest moments, Dwayne's story took a powerful turn. His friendship with Dany never truly ended. Instead, it evolved. The two continued to work together professionally, with Dany becoming the CEO of his management company, Seven Bucks Productions. What could have been an ugly separation became a partnership built on mutual respect and shared values. "We've always been a team," Dwayne said. "We just changed the way that team looked." That approach set the foundation for what Dwayne calls one of his life's greatest lessons, the importance of co-parenting with love, empathy, and maturity. Today, he shares a close and positive bond with his daughter Simone, who's following in his footsteps by joining the WWE world as Ava Raine. Despite being one of the busiest men in Hollywood, he makes sure to stay present in her life. He once shared that co-parenting isn't about being perfect, it's about being there, listening, and leading with heart. After his divorce, Dwayne started to rethink not only his relationships but also his career. Up until that point, he'd mostly been doing high-octane action films, roles that celebrated his physical power. But inside, he was craving something softer, something that could help him heal. That's when he made a surprising move. He began taking on family-friendly roles. Films like The Game Plan and Tooth Fairy marked a shift from the tough guy persona to the loving, funny dad figure that audiences fell in love with. For many fans, it was an unexpected turn. But for Dwayne, it was exactly what he needed. "Those movies helped me reconnect with joy," he said in a recent interview. "I didn't realize how much I needed to smile again." And it wasn't just about smiling on screen. It was about rediscovering lightness in his real life. Working on family films surrounded by kids, laughter, and warmth gave him a sense of renewal. It reminded him of the simple things that mattered most: connection, love, and gratitude. As the years passed, The Rock rebuilt his life, not from ambition, but from authenticity. He met Lauren Hashian, the love of his life, and together they built a beautiful family with their two daughters, Jasmine and Tiana. Watching him interact with his little girls on social media, singing "You're Welcome" from Moana, braiding their hair, or letting them put makeup on his face, you can see how much he values fatherhood. He once said in an interview, "When my girls laugh, it's like the world stops." I never take that for granted. After years of turmoil, it was family that became his greatest source of peace. Dwayne also opened up about how therapy and self-awareness helped him through his darkest moments. He admitted that for years, he didn't even realize he was dealing with depression. He just thought he was tired or in a funk. But over time, he learned that vulnerability is not weakness. The key is to not isolate, he said. You got to talk to somebody. It can change your life. That message resonated deeply with millions of fans around the world, especially men who often struggle to talk about their emotions. The Rock's honesty has helped destigmatize mental health discussions in spaces that often avoid them, like sports and entertainment. He's also used his platform to encourage others to seek help, reminding them that even superheroes need support. His social media posts often mix humor with heartfelt messages about gratitude, empathy, and mental strength. I've been there, he wrote in one post. It's okay to not be okay. You're not alone. Today, The Rock is more than an entertainer. He's a symbol of resilience. His journey from pain to positivity is one that continues to inspire millions. He's proof that vulnerability can coexist with strength and that success means nothing without emotional balance. Looking back, he credits his divorce and those difficult years as the turning points that shaped him. Sometimes, life cracks you open so that light can come in, he said. If that never happened, I wouldn't be the man I am today. Now, when he chooses scripts, he looks for stories that connect, not just entertain. Whether it's Jungle Cruise, Moana, or Red Notice, he's constantly seeking projects that celebrate family, hope, and perseverance. He wants his daughters and the next generation to see that heroes aren't defined by how much they lift, but by how much they love. In the end, Dwayne Johnson's story is about transformation, about how one of the world's strongest men learned that true strength comes from the heart, about how a painful divorce became the seed for emotional growth, and about how choosing joy, even in the face of heartbreak, can change your entire perspective on life. As The Rock himself says, I'm grateful for every scar, every setback, every heartbreak. They taught me to appreciate the sunshine even more. From the wrestling ring to the big screen to the quiet moments at home with his daughters, Dwayne Johnson continues to prove that being strong doesn't mean being unbreakable. It means standing tall, smiling through the pain, and choosing kindness every single day. His story is a reminder that even when life knocks you down, you can still rise, stronger, wiser, and filled with love. Because as The Rock's journey shows, happiness isn't found in fame or fortune. It's found in forgiveness, family, and the courage to start over. And maybe that's why people around the world continue to see him not just as an action hero, but as a human hero, someone who reminds us that real power lies in compassion and real greatness begins within.